Hi, my name's Dan and I am one of the co-founders at Thrive. Following on from my partner Charlotte's post yesterday in our series of tips around how to effectively work remotely, this is the second post. And this post is focusing on how to manage the anxiety that can be driven in us when we change from that routine of a more office-related environment to a much more home or remote working environment. Now, the first part of this tip is related specifically to that reason that is making us having to work from home, and that's the coronavirus outbreak, of course. Now, we're all avidly following the news and social media to try and pick out some useful facts to help us make decisions in how we can respond to this particularly challenging situation. Unfortunately, with the 24/7 news cycle and social media environment that we all live in, we can be overwhelmed by this information, and often that information will be contradictory. So what I would really encourage you to do is to manage your consumption of the news and social media. Pick maybe a couple of trusted channels and try to make sure that they're much more objective, fact orientated, rather than some of those outlets that focus on the sensationalized part of this situation. The second part of how we can go about managing our anxiety is to recognise that it's an emotion that we all experience in some form in our lives. And that comes from our natural fight or flight reaction when we feel under threat. Now, one of the best things that in my experience you can do, and in many of our clients' experience, is to share those anxieties, those thoughts and beliefs that are driving that emotion, and share it with somebody that you trust. It can be a friend, a colleague, it can be a family member, or even a professional. That then gives you an opportunity to gain a different perspective rather than the vicious cycle of thought that you might have fallen into. The last part of this tip is the connection between our physical well-being and our psychological well-being. It might be more difficult because, of course, some of us are having to stay in the house and that limits the opportunity to exercise. However, please try and fit into your routine some form of way of exercising to keep your physical well-being in line. So that's the last part of this tip around how to manage your anxiety in relation to remote working. If you'd like to find out more about the offering that we have around effective remote working, please follow the link in this post. That will show you the online training we put in place, and also look out for our next tips around remote working well. Thanks.